is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson off wide.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if he gets a good run. Dodd's just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome in to round 9 of season 1 of the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship here out at Winton Raceway. This evening, I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined once again by the great Steve Sinkovic alongside Sinker. Winton, we know of a driver who lives near Winton and has a lot of knowledge possibly about this circuit in our championship leader Blake Warboys, but tonight, big race ahead for these drivers. A difficult circuit, one where it's tough to pass at, but one where if you can get the strategy play to absolute perfection, it'll pay off for you in big ways. First of all, Singer, how you going? I know you've had a big weekend already, and now we get to top it off with some Supercars action.
Very good, mate. Very good. I do like this track. It's one of the few traditional Aussie tracks that are still alive and kicking, and if the people at Winton do ever watch this video, give a big shout out to them because they do amazing things down there. That track is constantly being updated and there's people on there all the time. There's events, look, every second weekend. It's spectacular. It's good to see a small track out in the middle of nowhere really thriving and doing well. Yeah, and I mean, it literally is in the middle of nowhere, about 3 hours to the east of Melbourne. The closest town to it is Wodonga or Albury, so it's it almost seems a world away to some people out there who would like to go racing here. But you know, it's one that I think is, you know, a little bit overlooked. I think maybe as a good circuit as drivers are traversing around at the end of practice at the moment. Yeah, look, it's if you're ever on the way to Wodonga, Albury from Melbourne, you know what? It's literally 5 minutes off the freeway. Yeah, it's not far off. So get off at the Winton exit and just go have a look. The people are really welcoming. I popped down late last year and they're doing roadworks there. And one of the guys is like, "Carl, come in and have a look." You know, we have a bit of a chinwag and a chat. They're really friendly and welcoming. Tell me a bit about the history of the place and all that sort of stuff. So there's an 80-year-old guy that cuts the lawns there. That street as you come in the right-hand side, which is part of the entry, the naming the street after him. And he still comes out and does the slashing and cutting the lawns all the way around, and he's been there forever and a day. And it's spectacular. So I highly recommend go a bit of a sneaky peek. It's just a top effort by a top bloke, you know, out there cutting the grass for a circuit that is so enriched in not only local racing history, but also national racing history as well here in Australia. And, you know, one that I'm a little bit disappointed by the fact it's not on the Supercars calendar anymore. I hope it does make a return at some point. It's offered us some great racing. I have been to this circuit before. I've been here for a Supercars race, and it was a great time. But when you're here, you feel like you're at a local race in the middle of nowhere. Like, it doesn't... There's no glitz and glamour about it. It is raw, unfiltered, and just it is the most gritty place you could go racing. Outside of maybe like Townsville, although Townsville's a street circuit, so even then it's not like that. If you're worried about getting your paint scuffed, don't even get out there. It's one of those tracks where you got to get paint scuffed. You got to make your own space because it's hard to pass on. If you see an opening, you got to take it. We've got a 40-minute now after this qualies are finished, and you watch these boys. It's going to be close all the way through. It's going to be spectacular. As Barbs is giving the boys a bit of a chinwag now. Let's have a quick look at our championship standings following round 8 last week at Phillip Island. Blake Warboys leads the way on 1,029 points with his included drop round. Jack Andrews is 18 points off the lead at the moment on 1,011. Angus Lawford, P3 in the championship. What a great event it was for Project 36 at Phillip Island, taking a 1-2 finish with Harry Dodds taking his first win for the team in SRW with them, but Lawford sits 73 points in behind. Tim Mulford on 882 points at the moment, back in P4. Then Billy Mole and Troy Stone Street, very, very close on points there for the WKMP Sim Sports drivers, Rehan Leonage. And then James Scott up to P8 in the championship, 822 points. So he's still over 200 points away from Blake Warboys.
And at this stage, he could win every round of the season. If Warboys were to finish P2, I think the math would still work out to Warboys winning. Because I don't know if there's actually enough points on the board for James to get past Blake, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's also going to be dependent on if Blake can actually make every single round, and if he does finish up at P2 in behind James every single week, or even if he wins races as well. Mick Clifton, though, P9, and then Harry Dodds inside of the top 10 of the championship. Ryan Mueller, he's had a bit of bad luck the last couple of rounds, Sinker. He's been getting in the wars a little bit, as has his, we'll call it, racing twin, Billy Mole. But I think Mole's somehow been able to come back a little bit better from it. But, Ryan's had some spectacular performances. He's struggled these past few weeks.
Been in the vortex, mate. He's been in the vortex. He's been in that spot where things have gone wrong around him, and he's been involved in collisions that weren't his fault, and then he's been in collisions where they've been 50-50s, which is unfortunate stuff. Racing does that to you every now and again. You get in that vortex, and things just don't go your way for a little bit. And then all of a sudden you come out the shiny bit of the clouds, and your things are back to normal. Boys are all piped out of the gate of the pits, man, and they've just come out flying already as they were coming out. If I was watching a few cars bumping and grinding, trying to get supremacy on the exit of the track. So if that's something we're going to look forward to, it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, this is going to be a night for us to remember for a long time coming, of course. We're now past the halfway point of the season. We've also confirmed that the Bathurst round, which was scheduled for next Sunday, Easter Sunday, has now been postponed and will replace the Barber round in 2 weeks' time. So it means that we go from a 16-round season to a 15-round season. So makes it a little bit shorter for the drivers, but it also means once we come back from this 2-week break, we're in at full throttle for an enduro at Bathurst, which that's going to be the toughest way you could come back from a 2-week break. One of those weekends being Easter. The next weekend, then, well, if the drivers don't race in Scops, it means that they've just got a week off to practice. So it's going to be a long build-up for them before that Bathurst enduro round coming their way, as well as the fact of dealing with the pressures of the top 10 shootout, dealing with qualifying, and dealing with 80 minutes of racing around the mountain. It is a tough combination to put together a perfect night on the road, Sinker. One which has challenged many a drivers before, and we're going to see that happening in 2 weeks. But first, we've got to get through Winton before we head up north by about 5 hours to Bathurst in New South Wales in a couple of weeks' time.
More action again. It's never lonely in this place, that's for sure. Every night we race, there's something spectacular is happening, and with the talent that's out on that grid, we're not surprised, are we?
No, we're not.
There's a few dodgy fans out there tonight. Must be all of
there was a few last week as well. All the footy boys.
Yeah. All the footy boys must be out. They must have been had a good night last night.
Well, I believe, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's Queenscliff Football Club.
Yeah.
They played a game today, I'm pretty sure, or yesterday, so they're all in here supporting Dodsey while he races. Billy Mole's going to lead his teammate Blake Warboys across the line. Jace Douglas goes provisional pole. Mole pips him, though.
They covered him.
Yep, by nearly a second. Warboy's time didn't count, so he's got to try and pull something out across this lap.
Yeah, he had 2 purples out of that too.
Yeah, and that's going to be the most disappointing part. Now, I'm not sure where he got the off-track, whether it was at the final couple of corners. Lawford's gone up, though, 122.32. Mueller up onto the provisional top 3 at the moment, 122.58. Banksy's up there, too, with his time. Same with Tim Mulford as well. Dodsey's got a time in. Yep.
Buchanan up to 5th. Gallen up to 4th. Nice.
Where has that come from John Gallen?
Have got around each other and decided they're going to have a great night out tonight.
James Scott has just big-membered the whole field, 121.73.
You say D-membered.
I said big-membered because I'm not going to say big D. We're not late enough for that, so...
Yeah.
But no,
121.729. Literally 5/10 off the front of Jack Andrews. But here comes Warboys. He's got second sector purple, 2 oranges, and let's see how he goes in his 4th sector. I expect him to be at the pointy end as well. Billy Mole all orange.
So he hasn't gone any better in the 1st or the 3rd sector as Warboys, but he has gone better in the 2nd. The man with real-life racing experience, especially when this place goes at 121.88.
Not far off.
Not what he would have hoped for, but P2 on the road is good enough at this stage. But James Scott's going to go even better. I reckon it might be a 21.5 sinker, although he hasn't gone better in the third sector.
No, third sector's orange. It's going to be interesting to see. A couple of boys are going to be strong in different parts of this track. We know that James Scott has been happier and happier every time he gets out racing with his setups and battling, everything like that. War Boys is pretty much the same. They're still on development side of it. Rian Leonard, purple in the second sector, green in the first. Here goes a charge.
As he comes onto the back straight, down towards the final couple of corners. This is the newest part of this circuit, of course. Built the most recently. Originally the club circuit.
Track, just got out of the way.
Sony's off the road. So, of course, the club circuit, which is, was pretty much turn 1, 2, and then the old start straight turn 3, turn 4, up and around the Gumtree, and then they just cut out right there where Rehan's come past.
Yeah.
That is the club circuit, technically, which is the old circuit here.
So that part of the track that Rian just passed after the chicane, we have seen cars actually launch up into the fence there.
Yes.
GT39s.
Oh well, even in the supercar, the 3D curbs on the left-hand side, absolutely deadly. And
all you need is a little bit extra love as you're coming through that bit,
exactly,
and you quite easily end up on top of the fence.
Exactly,
as we've seen before.
As Harry Dodds, last week's race winner, as he comes around the final couple of corners. How can he go across this lap? His teammate is on all greens at the moment in behind him, so he looks to go even better once again. Doddsy crosses the line. It's his out lap. He now starts a new fast lap this time by. Let's watch Lawford and his lap before we get back to Doddsy for this fast lap for him. As he comes across the line, does Lawford go any better? He does, 122.1. Good enough for P4 for Angus Lawford. Doddsy, though, he did his pre-race stretches this morning, Sinker, trying to get his mind and body completely central. Don't know how well that's going to do him at Winton, but, you know, if it helps you breathe better, then good on him.
Yeah, 100%. Was he doing that kung fu pose?
No, he looked like it was both hands on hips, but also proposing to somebody at the same time. It was one knee, perfect little S shape, and then, just stretching his legs out, apparently.
Well, the new Karate Kid's coming out. It's Ralph Macchio with Jackie Chan as the Masters, so maybe we can get Doddsy involved.
Oh, man, he's too good. He is too good. He'd be banned from the All Valley. He is, he would not be allowed in, I don't think. As he comes around the final corner for Harry Dodds, he's got a couple of greens and an orange, but no purples next to his name, so it's not going to be good enough for the top end of town. But where is it going to put him? P9 inside of the top 10. So being that it is a 60-minute race tonight, drivers will have till the 15 minutes to start a lap. They can finish their lap, though, if they start it before the 15 minutes is up. So they do have that little bit of extra time. War Boys is on a purple, as is James Scott, as he comes down towards the final couple of corners here of this. I think it might have been Jace Douglas, possibly.
I could hear it in the background. It wasn't the solid fence. It was the catch
fence or the tie barrier.
Yeah. Oh, James Scott, 2 purples.
Yeah, he's got 121.5.
121.5. Oh, War Boys, you stepped it up to 121.6. Wow, that is pretty good, man. That is less than a tenth in that.
Yep. So
these boys are really putting on a show tonight. These top 3.
It's a tough track to pass on. So if drivers further back can't maximise on qualifying, they are going to be in for a tough night on the road, and they're going to have to hope for some carnage just to make up positions. As Leonard crosses the line this time by 121.71 is a better lap, but not better enough to get him up onto the front row of the grid for the moment. Stephen Banks is on a couple of personal bests as well. He's back in P16. He's got some time to find at this track yet to crack the 22s. We know that Banksy's got the pace in him. It's just, does he gel well with this circuit? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, first time we saw him on track, I was very surprised. Usually team owners aren't that fast, but he's got a bit of pace behind him. He's done some top splits and everything like that, so he's an accomplished driver. I'd say he's done a fair bit of laps around with the boys.
22.49. He's actually matched the time that Mueller set one of his teammates. He's only a couple of thousandths off that time. So
yeah, 4.88 for Mueller and 4.91 for Banks.
Barely anything between them. Mueller running the Larry Perkins retro livery this week, it seems, as well. The old Perkins Engineering Castrol.
I'll look out for the copyright claims.
No,
we always get.
it's not an HRT car. It's not an HRT car, so it shouldn't actually get a copyright
I always
claim.
got to explain to these people. Look, have a better look at the car, will you? It's a a retro livery. It's not a direct copy. It's what do you call it?
It's
not a menage. Not a menage a trois. It's it's
Sinko, I don't know if we're late enough to even say that, if I'm honest with you. I mean,
it's a what's that word they call? I can't even think of the word. My brain's gone. Sorry. What do we got? Jace is. Yeah, I'm not even reading that.
No.
Lachlan Kidd, where's Harry Dodds? Up and coming superstar. Well, he's had a win.
Yeah,
he's up and coming. He's been up and coming for a long time, Harry. At the moment, he's sitting in 10th. So our top 10 at the moment with 4 minutes left is James Scott, Blake Warboys, Round Leonard, Angus Lawford, Billy Mole, Jack Andrews, Troy Stone Street, Tim Mulford, Ryan Mueller, Stephen Banks, and Harry Dodds with 11.
Was the word homage?
Homage, that was the word I was looking for. You're such a legend. Thank you for saving my brain.
Yeah, that was Brendan Griffiths who saved you there on that one. I'm not even going to take claim for it.
No, because I was reading Danny's post. Yeah, so times are looking good. There's not much in it at all.
And I mean,
there's a second all the way down till 12th place.
So the problem now is for Warboys, Scott and Leonard's, like, it's so hard now to find these little amounts of time to get gains at this track. Like, they have plateaued to a pure maximum of lap time where you can't really push it too much harder without risking yourself and risking your lap. So this is where one of the difficulties is of Winton, where you're having to try and find time but also not pushing the limits too hard.
Look, you got to look at the undercuts. You got to look at the pit strategy. I think that's a big win here.
Undercut's going to be massive at this track, especially if you're in a tightly contested pack and you can sneak in early.
Safety car.
Yep.
You know, there's a few spots here where if the cars do go red, just got purple sector. If there's a few spots here where you know, a car could block a track quite easily. So safety car is not off the table either. So.
It's not high speed enough to get into a bad wreck at the Gumtree, but that's probably the tightest point of the track. I think the most likely part where we're going to see it's going to be here. It's going to be the exit of turn 2 into the wall. That's going to be the biggest spot where we're likely going to see a safety car worthy incident, unless someone just gets doored off track at turn 4 and they somehow cross the circuit full pace into another car over by the Gumtree. Aside from that, I think turn 2 is going to be the one. I'm hopeful, and I think, you know, if the race winner tonight then goes on to win the championship, I feel if they don't do a burnout on the burnout pad here at Winton, I think they should become ineligible at that point for the title.
Man, you've got that straight down the middle as well, which we used as a drag strip one year for a bit of fun, and whoever hit the wall first won the drag. So that was a lot of fun. We have a look through our catalogue of videos. It's there somewhere. How do I begin my career in this industry? Look, you register on www.simracingworld.com.au.
Sinker, the first thing they need to do is have a rig and a PC.
Oh, well, obviously, I'm assuming that they have.
Oh, you might not.
If you've got a rig and a PC, you got to get into iRacing. You need a 2.0D license at least to race in our series. And then we've got an option of Tuesday nights, Sunday nights, and for the V8s, and then other cars on Wednesday. We've got the Formula Super Lights, the 86s. But or reach out to admin@simracingworld.com.au and we'll give you the whole spiel.
So Stone Street now finds himself inside of the top 10. We've got 60 seconds left of regular time in qualifying. Who's on to start another lap at this point? Scott could start another one. He's on his out lap at the moment, as is Warboys, as is Leonage. They're probably close enough to start a new lap at this point. Lawford, this will be his last chance because he's by the Gumtree.
Orange in the second section.
Yeah. And then Mulford's a bit further back. So Scott's going to be the first to start the final run in this last lap of qualifying. He's got John Gallen in behind him. Troy Stonestreet's got a couple of green sectors on his lap, so we'll get back to Scott in just a moment as Troy looks to be one of the first drivers to end his qualifying. Yeah, where's Lawford? He's just coming down towards the final few corners. So Lawford will be the first to end his lap at this stage as he comes around the final corner. Can he go any better? He's only got one personal better sector on the board. The rest are as good or worse than his previous best. Crosses the line. Is it good enough for P3? It is not.
Yeah.
Mulford's pulled out of his lap. Stonestreet now down towards the line. Can he go any better? He crosses.
Oh,
P4, 124.04. Gallen is off the road. That's qualifying done and dusted. Buchanan on all oranges at the moment, so he's not going to go any better either as he crosses the line. Blake Warboy's the next to the ticket. He's not going to get pole here tonight. He's going to pull it up. Next car to cross is James Scott, who's down towards the final few corners.
Yeah, he's done an orange, green, orange, so I don't think he's going to progress any faster than what he needs to, or he's pulled. No, he hasn't pulled in the pits. He's kept going.
Thanks, Coleman. Where are you? Aren't you on track?
What can you win? Well, in this series, you win some Warren and Brown tools. In the other series, you don't win anything but a trophy, which is usually dispatched late during the following season.
Or gets broken in transit, as some of them have this previous season. Yeah, which is unfortunate that the Australian Postal Service has done that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. It's just another thing for Coleman to give me crap about.
Yeah, there's a reason why we don't offer flasks anymore, is there, Sinko?
But Lachlan, I wouldn't worry about winning, mate. First, you'd want to start participating and competing. The boys that are out here are some of the fastest guys in the country. They're not going to be easy pushovers to win against. Also, the split 1 and 2 on Tuesday night, some very accomplished drivers. Some of these boys race in the split 1, and the split 2 are no schmucks either.
It's also full of drivers who don't solely race in SRW. They're drivers who race in a multitude of leagues on iRacing and have got a lot of racing experience as well. So it's, you know, there's not a lot of rookies out there who've just bought the service and then, and in saying that, you've actually got to be able to get a rookies first before you can even come racing. So it's, you don't.
Well, here you
don't just
go.
get it
Here's
straight
our
up.
top 10.
So starting grid for tonight's race will be as follows. James Scott will start pole position ahead of Blake Warboys on the front row of the grid. Rehan Leonard's Troy Stonestreet for your top 4. Angus Lawford, Ryan Mueller, the top 6 with Billy Mould, Jack Andrews, Tim Mulford, Jaden Green for the top 10. With Stephen Banks and Harry Dodd starting on the 6th row of the grid. Will Buchanan, John Gallen, Jace Douglas for the top 15. Stacey Boyd, Mick Clifton, Terry Marsh, Alex McManus will make up the grid here this evening. Our race controllers, Sam Katakazinas, Greg Barber and Greg Leake here this evening. Funnily enough, Sinker, I had Sam in a broadcast chat that I was doing the other day. But unfortunately for Sam, he then had to deal with the multitude of dad jokes that I was pulling out during that broadcast. So, yeah. Poor Sam.
Oh, hang on, what's going on here?
It's a rolling start. Someone hasn't
set it. Is it a rolling start?
Yeah, someone hasn't set it. I'm not going to say someone hasn't set it properly, but I would say there's been a muck-up in the session set up to have a rolling start.
They've just discovered down the stairs that we've got the rolling start, and Barb's is like, we've got
send it. You
rolling
know,
start.
Send it. See what happens. See how it affects
they're debating
them.
at the moment whether they. All right, they're all going. They're all saying, "Let's go."
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, let's go.
It's not. It's not.
Look,
it's not like it's
probably not a bad thing at this.
Well, probably not. It's going to save us possibly a lap 1, turn 1 incident. It's also, there's no point making a new server just to change the start procedure. Like if it was like the time jump between qualifying and race start put us in the dark of night, fair play. That's changed server, but rolling start doesn't make much difference.
But one thing we have seen is the advantage of some of these boys off the start.
Yep. This now takes that away. Takes it away now, so.
Yeah, some of them are a bit faster off the start than others to take advantage, which is really good. Hopefully they won't pile into each other and cause chaos, but it's looking, they've all got the pace already now. I've got the camera.
Let's hope they've remembered to readjust their brake bias after the end of qualifying. Let's hope they've resituated themselves as we get rolling and started for Winton Raceway here this evening. In a different start procedure than we'd normally be used to. It's green flag running at Winton. As we run down towards turn 1, the scramble has begun for a lot of drivers as we rocket on through. Almost 4 wide onto the entry for some of them. As Scott leads us through.
Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy there, but looks like they've straightened each other out.
I think we've gotten through relatively unscathed at this point.
Not yet, mate, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, that back end group are really putting their elbows out, trying to get some early places. I'm not sure who that is. I think it might be Doddsy. That's, yeah, in the midfield. I think it's Dodds.
Yeah, well, he's got Jace Douglas in behind him, and he's got Jaden Green up ahead of him, so...
It's Jaden Green.
Yep. Oh, Blake Warboys off the road at the Gumtree.
Oh, and panned as well.
So we'll have a look at that at the end of lap 1.
He's called it.
Yeah,
he's
not
called
surprised.
it in.
So I wonder if it was Scott or if it was as Green's also had a moment too. Big stack down at the stewards area. Buchanan's off the road. Douglas is running off too. So there's been some elbows out. There's been some wars.
Yeah. There's blinking vehicle out there. Looks like it's Jaden Green that was doing the blinking.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was the reason for one of the accidents. But looks like they've finally made their way through now and starting to get back by back into some sort of line and order.
So let's try and break down lap 1 and just see what's happened here. So Doddsy was getting the elbows out very early on as he came through turn 1 too. So he wanted to sneak up the inside of Douglas. Got that job done. There was a bit of an elbow to Tim Mulford from, I think it might have been Jaden Green. And Dodsy's then gotten past Jaden. Actually elbowed his own teammate out of the way. That's not a good look.
Yeah, that's where Jaden just appeared.
Yeah, there's the blink.
Yeah.
And so whilst all that was happening, further up the road as we entered up towards the Gumtree, Warboys is coming in. Has Rehan centered on him? Oh, he has. It's a very late dive from Rehan.
Yeah. And he got panned in the front there as well by one of the boys. Oh, Jace gave a good little right chip to the shoulder.
Yeah.
But he's already back there fighting his way through.
Oh, and then that was how Jaden Green ended up there. He actually got turned by Jace Douglas, so that might look a bit poorly on Jace's behalf for that one as well.
Jace trying to readdress, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but...
Well, he has readdressed, yes. Yeah, but it might not be a readdress situation. Is Sid racing tonight? Not sure which Sid you're referring to. Sydney? No. Looking at Blake Warboys, he's down 7 places, but working his way through. I saw him just past Mulford a few minutes ago on the second camera, so he's making his way through. Everyone seems to have leveled it out a little bit, but James Scott is on a rampage with Ryan Leonard's chasing him down, who's just at the fastest lap for 1:21.905, and them two have just taken off. They've got 2.7 seconds on the back of Angus Lawford. They're off and run.
On board with Warboys now as we run down to... Okay. All right. Okay. So... Just call this one for a second.
Tell you what, these boys are trying to get that after the chicane, the first right-hander. They're trying to make moves in there, and that's not a great place. I'm seeing a lot of contact through there. That's going to keep race control busy.
Sinker, are you logged into the SRW channel on your end?
What do you mean?
On your YouTube feed that you're reading the chat off of.
I'm not. The chat? What do you mean on YouTube?
So the end that you're watching YouTube on to get the chat.
Yeah.
Are you logged into the SRW channel?
Yes.
You want to just time out Will for his previous comment? Because I don't have the login at the moment, or my login's reset the other day. Because we're not going to have that. I don't think it's appropriate. So,
What did it say? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's his 3 strikes and he's out, unfortunately for him. So Blake Warboys though on the charge back up the field, right in behind Harry Dodds at the moment as we run towards turn 1. So he's trying to put pressure on him now as we run up through the dreaded turn 2. Got to be careful the curbs, the big hop from Dodds on the outside. Is that going to cost him as Warboys sends it down the inside? Job done for Warboys. Easy does it. Dodds gave him plenty of room there, Sinker, which was good to see. And now Warboys, let's try and chase down Ryan Mueller, who's down a spot in this race, but is just in behind Mole.
Drive through.
Yep, that's Rehan Leonard.
That was that move on.
Not too surprised by it. It was a late send on a tightening line for Warboys. Just a miscalculation there from Rehan, I think.
Look, it's racing. You got to try to make a move, and sometimes it doesn't work.
That's right. That's exactly right. You just got to make a decision, and unfortunately, that one didn't pay off for Rehan, so he'll use the 3 laps to his advantage. As Mick Clifton,
off.
Yeah, he is. Has he done it by himself? That's the question.
I think he might have.
He was in behind Jace. Oh, yeah, just got a bit loose, and off she goes.
Yep.
So.
Look, it's quite a dusty track too. Once you go off, it takes your tyres a bit of time to get grip back into them and settle in a bit. It doesn't happen straight away. Since the last few updates, it takes a little bit longer. You've got to manage your tyres a lot better these days than you used to. You couldn't just thrash them around and spin them all over the place like you used to do it. You really got to look after them.
No, you do. Especially once they're overheated, it takes so much time to get the temperature back down. It's why if you pit and you take tyres, you've actually got to take that out lap a little bit easier, which is why the undercut is so strong in these cars. So it's a real tough balancing act in these cars.
Especially the amount of curves in this track. The straights aren't really that long. You've got that back straight coming in, which is sort of like a bit of a V, and the final straight, which is it, and they're not long at all. It's all left and right, so you've got to get the heat in those tyres quickly and stay off the dirt while you're doing that as well.
And the arm workout that you get through this middle section, is it is so tough on the forearms and of like the outer tricep and bicep. I mean, you are feeling it through your arms the whole way through that middle sector of just trying to get this thing pulled up and turned around those corners from the change of direction.
Especially if you like a heavy setup, like I like my head, I like to feel the wheel, the everything through it. So I like a fairly heavy setup. And who's that?
That's Rehan coming in for his drive-through.
I'll come to the drive-through. What do you went off track then? So you get a good workout in tracks like this. You really got to make sure that your setting position is correct. So you're not got your arms extended too full out. So you've got the elbows pulling down, like you're climbing a ladder sort of thing. So that you've got the like proper race position. So you've got the hands going up and down. So it's coming out of the shoulders, the biceps, not just your arms straight out.
And so your arms aren't overextended as well. You've got a bit of bend to them too.
Yeah, your elbows are sort of pointing down to your hips.
Yep.
That's the right position you sort of got. Not quite straight down, but sort of like if you draw a straight line from your hand to the bottom of your elbow, it'll point down to your hips. If you have a look at Blake Warboys, he's got it pretty much there. If you draw a line down his wrist to his hand, you'll see it's pointing down to where his hips are.
Yeah, it's a nice little V shape that his arm's making either side of him, putting a multitude amounts of pressure here on Ryan Mueller at the moment is Mr. Warboys as he continues to battle on at this stage. We've also got Jace Douglas's camera as well in there too. We saw Harry Dodds just before. This is where Jace is at the moment. He's in between John Gallen and Jaden Green as Warboys is trying to get past Ryan Mueller as quickly as possible at the moment. He's putting all sorts of pressure on him. I've caught Sinker with his pants down by having the UI up at the moment.
I was just changing the drivers down to Stoney at the front.
That's all good.
Again, because I saw him down the bottom screen. But it's there's a great little battle there going with Angus Clawford, Stone Street, Andrews, Mole. Nice little battle pack coming behind them. So with Rian going through the pits, he's going to be now coming through. He's in 16th place, so he's got to battle his way through. He's got a lot of time, and we've seen Blake Warboys do it last week, getting all the way back up to 5th place. So the title battle is still on, and a few spanners in the works are making it more and more exciting as we go along for every week. And as I said, I was talking to someone the other day, any one of these fast boys has still got it in the bag to win. They just got to be consistent, and things happen. It's racing.
You've got to keep your season as consistent as possible and keep yourself within the fight as long as possible, as well as Stone Street putting all sorts of pressure on Lawford at the moment. Let's get it. So we've got a couple of angles on this battle. So we've got
Warboard's just about to go past Mueller. He's just done it. He's just taken Mueller across the back there. So he has got himself another spot. Banksy's gone off track somewhere. And he is called... No, 017 has called something in.
So
no, 077 it was.
Yeah, that is Banksy. So I wonder if there's been contact made. So he had Mulford on his outside, bit of door-to-door action between them, and then round he goes. To play devil's advocate on Tim Mulford's behalf, then where was Tim supposed to go? He was on the edge of the circuit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if Tim's the passing car, different story, then he would be at fault. But if Stephen's the passing car, Tim's not been left racing room on the exit of the circuit. So we'll see what race control say. They'll break it down. They'll go back. They'll see what led up to that moment and if there was anything in between them that may have led to that happening. But at this stage, you know, he's now got to try and come back in this thing and fight his way forward. As we can see, well, Stone Street has got all sorts of pressure from in behind him, and he's trying to sort of relay that forward to Lawford to make Lawford crack if he can, to keep this car on the podium at this point too. Jack Andrews in P4 at the moment in behind him, putting all sorts of pressure on him. Billy Mole is in there too. Warboys, what a comeback from him at this point. Have listened to race control. Hey, what are you mentioning?
I don't know. I'm listening to race control at the moment. I can't hear nothing from you guys.
I can't hear it.
No. What's up, Barb? Tell us, mate.
Yeah, what's happening?
There's a few people out there. Listen, guys, if you're here for a bit of fun, watch the race. By all means, watch the race. If you want to do more than that, go elsewhere. Simple as that. We've got a community that we foster here that's all about racing, and we've also got our own copyrights and things and broadcasting standards that we need to apply to. So please be mindful of that in your conversations.
Yeah, I don't really know if Barbs is agreeing with me about listening to race control.
Don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, James Scott is still at the fastest lap for the 1:21.784. Lawford is sitting in second place now, as we've had an incident between Rian and Blake Warboys and moving them down the field. So Lawford, who was sitting in fourth and fifth place, has now got himself up. But Scott is gone off on his own. He's like 9.6 seconds. But Stoney and Jack Andrews are not giving it away to Lawford. They're putting the pressure on. We've got a line of boys coming behind them. Stone Street, Andrews, Mole, and then Warboys. Warboys has just passed Mole, and he's got himself back into fifth place. So that bundle of guys is still going to cross with Ryan Mueller on the back of them.
Yeah, and this pack now, pressure's starting to be applied. I mean, we noticed Mole's now let Warboys past him because he knows that he needs to try and make up as many positions as he can to get up to James Scott. Car 850 and 077 NFA on lap 7. Very interesting. So I wonder if Banksy was the passing car there, Sinker, and maybe that's where race control's gotten the determination from him, that rule of he hasn't passed him safely, and that's what then it would be self-penalising possibly.
What's going on? Good action. I can hear you there, Barbs.
Yeah. I can't. I have it turned down so it doesn't come over the broadcast because we may have someone swear in race chat and all of a sudden that gets broadcasted for us. So we don't have that at this point.
Right,
Dodsey's P8 at the moment. Since it's been asked. But we see Mueller. He's now started to get up on the back of Mole. And, I mean, these two guys are... I mean, they've been around each other all season, Sinker. I mean, they are literally two opposite sides of a mirror. I mean, yes, they've had separate off weeks, and some have been worse than the other by sheer poor luck, but Mole and Mueller, they've both got something about them where you look at both drivers and think they are just taken from the same mould.
Their styles aren't too dissimilar.
No.
When they both put it on, They're flying, and you can see they attack the track.
Yeah.
Really attack it. Probably not the smoothest of drivers, I would say. By the way they sort of attack the track sometimes, and I think that's also leads to some of their undoing as well. It's sort of a little bit of overdriving.
Yeah, I think that's the difference
That comes with
between
experience.
Yeah, that's the experience factor, and I think a driver who's really started to improve upon that factor this season is Jack Andrews, and it's been proven within his performances all season long how far he has come ever since joining Phoenix Racing Team. I mean, P2 in the championship at the moment, only 18 points off of Warboys. He's not going to let Warboys have this, because he knows if he finishes ahead of Warboys, it's crucial points that he would be gaining in the championship standings. So for Andrews, he's not going to make the night easy for Blake. Stone Street will, being Blake's teammate. Lawford possibly, because he's a bit further back in the title race. But for Warboys, he's going to have to earn this one over Jack Andrews. He's not going to have it for free.
We've seen Jack defend before in this sort of position. Not on this track. This track's going to be a little bit harder to defend as well, because you really got to be on song all the time. You cannot make the slightest mistake, because you'll open that door like crazy. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how long he can hold Warboys off.
Well, the pressure is mounting on Jack Andrews. When can Warboys get the move? Does he maybe have to try and unsettle him through the final two corners and then get the run down towards turn one? Is that his best opportunity, possibly?
The chicanes, pressure through that chicane. The chicane's a critical breaking point. You've really got to go there. And you put pressure on there, and the driver might miss his mark by a bit and go in too hard there, and that opens up a good passing spot.
Does he maybe go for undercut, possibly? You know, if he gets held up by Jack. Stoney's
gone. Stone Street's gone. What happened to him? I just saw him just shoot off the screen.
Let's have a look what's happened. I have a feeling he may have caught the curb. He may have caught the outside curb. Popped the inside, and the rear's just gotten so loose and unsettled that it's caused him to turn around.
At least there was no impact to the wall. That was a lucky thing about it.
That was very lucky. Very lucky for him.
It off the wall, which is good. Here I'm asking you what happened, and I had him on the bottom screen.
You could have watched him the whole time.
Yeah, I've got. I'm watching the main screen at the moment, because we were talking about Warboys and his attacking prowess on the back of Jack Andrews, and Jack Andrews' defending has been pretty good.
It has.
He's doing a fair bit of holding up. The pace difference is considerable there. There's about 5 to 6 tenths different. Will Buchanan just gone off track as well. Here he goes, having a look on the inside. He's got him on the inside. He's opened up, and very clean move, but it's not over. He's still holding the gap out wide.
He has to go the long way around. Outside line gives him the inside of the next corner. Job done for Warboys. He had to earn it through there. It's one of the toughest spots you can get an overtake made, but if you can get it done through there, Sinky, you feel on top of the world. I mean...
Oh, look at... down the bottom, Mr. Douglas is having a bit of a tete-a-tete as he's going through with Harry Dodds. Harry tried to take the inside line, had him around the tree, but then...
That's Jaden Green.
That's Jaden Green, is it?
Yeah. Dozzy races a Camaro, so
that's
a
in
Mustang.
front of him, yeah. And it was very, very close. They switched and swapped over-under sort of situation going through, and they both got a little bit unsettled. I thought it was going to end up in the tree.
I very well could have. Oh, Green, though, locks it up, runs it wide. Ooh.
He might be suffering a bit of heat in those tyres, because he's been smashing that rear end a fair bit, really driving hard, trying to get back up there.
Speaking of driving hard to get back up there, Rehan Leonard's just trying to make moves as Warboys up the inside at turn 3. Job done on Lawford. And he'll now hold this inside line as much as he can through turn 4.
He got settled then, didn't he?
He did. The problem now for him is, though, he's got 14 seconds and he has to try and chase down James Scott across the next 40 minutes of racing. Is it enough time? And has he got that many qualifying worthy laps in him for the whole race? I don't know.
Man, he's gone through the situation. Where was he? He was down to 16th, I think he was at one point. And he's done a great job getting through there. Rehan's going through the same thing now. He's in 13th and working his way through. So he's on the back of John Gallen with 2/10 at the moment. So putting the pressure on and trying to get himself a bit of an opening.
Yeah, Coleman saying.
Yeah,
I mean, at 14 seconds without a safety car, it seems pretty insurmountable.
We would need James to do one of his famous pit entries.
Yeah, just speeds into pit lane. That's all we need at the moment.
But Rian has just passed John Gallen. He's made the nice move on the inside.
That was a good move.
It through very, very clean.
Yeah, that was a very, very good move. John gave him plenty of room, plenty of real estate to get the job done. John knows he's a smart driver. He's not at the level of Rehan. I mean, Rehan's recently hit 9 KI rating. A ridiculous prospect for this young fella. But John's quick in his own right, but Rehan is just a whole other beast. And John's a smart racer.
Few weeks, Rehan.
Yeah, he has. He has had a tough few weeks.
Gone his way, which has been unfortunate.
Been a real character-building season for him, hasn't it? He's been getting challenged week in and week out, whether it's with penalties or poor decision-making skills. And I think the most important thing is, because we know how fast he is, we know his racecraft, it's if he learns from these mistakes and then he improves upon himself from learning from them.
It's racing, yeah. So you got to make the move. You got to have a go. You can't always just sit there. It's not like nothing against the major series, but you're going to be less tentative to make a move on a driver with a little bit of risk in that sort of series. Whereas here you can flaunt with that sort of edge a little bit more, and sometimes it doesn't work. So it's I wouldn't say it's something about learning about. I think it's more just having a go. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. And these guys are spectacular out there. I think, mate.
I mean, some of these guys are ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, well, the point I was about to make is if we look at this from literally a human and psychological and humanities sort of whole over. No. Just hear me out for a second here. I mean, think about how old Rehan is now. He's 15 now, right? So he's at the peak of, of puberty. So we know what we were like as teenagers. We know how hot-headed we can get. We know how flustered we can get.
Oh, look.
And
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're talking hormones and stuff like that with the 15-year-old. Look, it is a tough part of life. It's growing, and but there are extension things that will go through school and in life and stuff like that. This kid he's got his head screwed on, man. To be able to do what he does on the track and then off the track with what he does, the coaching and stuff like that. Oh, mate, it's.
I'm more or less looking from the perspective of how if he can, because this is going to be a character building couple of years. Barbs is probably getting bored in the race control booth right now.
Someone's at the side of the track on fight. No, mate. This is not Sonoma. We've got green everywhere here. We water our off fields, just like they said to. I'm watching the race, and they said, why don't they do what Melbourne does? Water it every day before the race.
That's right. Oh, round goes Jace Douglas. Round goes Jace Douglas. I'll have a look at that in a second. Let's have a look here what's happening. So the main point I was trying to make with that, whilst this was happening with Jace, so a little bit of a rear touch and round he goes. No contact from behind.
I think that was more Jace trying not to hit him. Yeah, slam the brakes a little bit too hard.
The point that I was trying to make, and I'll swiftly wrap up, is the challenges now of the hormones and everything like that will now, he's going into a developmental part of his life and a very character building part of his life, not letting that affect him on track too much, and trying to get the positives out of everything, not looking at it too negatively, because that part of your life, it can be the end of the world for the most smallest of things. And I know Rehan is, he's a great kid, does a lot for the sim racing community through training and then obviously racing every week as well. So I hope that through this now developmental period of his life, he's going to continue to improve, continue to push on, continue to get better. This kid could be absolutely wild come his early 20s, because he's going to get through all this and he's going to push on, and he's going to be on fire. He may be one of the best we ever see once he gets into his peak of his early to mid-20s, Sinker. I mean, it's crazy to think how young he is and how much better he is yet to get.
Yeah, look, I think he's racing's a bit different these days than it used to be, yeah.
No, that's right.
You got Formula One drivers now who are 18. So the body the development of the body is more about. It's going to be more about strength and stamina.
Yeah.
He does athletics as well.
Oh, he does.
So he's well controlling that. And I think with a dad like Laz,
this kid's gonna have
he'll keep his feet on the floor. Don't you worry about that. He'll keep him.
I know.
Not that he needs to, but you know, as the kid's growing, I know I was a pain in the ass to my old man when I was 16,
I was
17.
I was too. Yeah, I hated my dad when I was 16, 17, and it's just a part of life. It's part of developing and everything like that. So.
These guys got a massive bond together. It's great to see.
No, that's right.
Together as well.
Yeah.
Out there, we were talking about the 17 seconds. Blake has got it back a little bit.
Well,
to 14 seconds.
Hang on. Before we get onto a little, it was 14 seconds once he got past Lawford. So he hasn't he hasn't actually gained.
Oh, I thought it was 17.
No, he's gained a couple of tenths, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, he's lapping. They're lapping about what I was going to say. They're lapping about the same pace at the moment. They're doing 23 twos, about the same. Will there be a undercut when the pits come through? Will War Boys try to get in there a little bit earlier? Rian is up to 10th now, and he's on the back of Stone Street, so he is on the bottom screen chasing them down. Stoney has got Mulford in front of him, so hopefully Mulford and Rian are working together here and probably slowing them down, compress them a bit, and give them another opportunity. Will Buchanan's just gone off and back on again. But we haven't seen a legitimate pit stop yet, and we are at the 25-minute mark, so we expect what, 30, 35?
Yeah, probably about the halfway mark, I would say. They're probably saving a little bit of fuel, keep themselves in check and get themselves prepared for the push to the end as well. I came into this race not expecting safety cars, I will say.
Yeah.
Don't expect one now unless we get an engine blown.
I thought the safety car was going to be probably, if anything, at the start of the race.
Yeah.
But Barb fixed that.
Yeah, I was going to say the rolling start probably mitigated that quite a fair bit.
Yeah, Barb fixed that. Got to give it to you while we can, Barbs.
Take advantage of being able to chirp up Barbs, especially whilst he's waiting for the grass to catch fire. Oh, Jack Andrews comes into pit lane, so the first of the stoppers is in. And it is Jack Andrews. Harry Dodds is also coming to pit lane, but apparently he crashed. But I think he was actually just pulling it up. I think he might be.
Yeah. Look, while we're getting a little bit of a pause here, and things are sort of like leveling out a bit. Drivers are going into pits like crazy at the moment. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when we're on track next. And a big, massive thank you to Warren Brown Tools, PPD, Grim Industries, Moser Racing, Shunt Scenery, all for supporting the Warren and Brown series and everything that gets behind us.
That's crazy to think about, Cinco.
Say again?
Now it's crazy to think about.
What's that, mate?
Next time we're on track in SRW, it's round 1 of season 2 of the Tuesday Supercars.
It's gone so quick, actually. I've relished this little bit of a gap, because I've got to get things done in my life a little bit, being fairly busy in what we do here. But it is pretty crazy, and you know you got to thank these drivers out there who are always out there supporting us and getting on track and putting on a mega show.
So half the field are now coming to do their stops. Lawford's going to come in, so is Mole. So the other half field's now going to come in as they enter pit road. Mueller's in. Warboys and Scott have gone long, so maybe a bit of fuel saving from those boys.
Yeah.
Bit of
I was
strategy
just
on
looking
hand.
at Billy Mole entering that pitch just then. I thought, oh, it looked a bit ragged there. Billy, don't hit him.
So let's keep an eye on Jack Andrews, because he was the top-seeded driver who originally pitted just a little bit ago, and he was in a battle with Lawford and Mueller and Mole. So where does he end up?
Stoney has got pressure from Linage at the moment, and Stoney's rear end starting to slide, so it won't be too long before Leon gets past him.
So Andrews has managed to jump all 3 of them, and Mole in fact has actually jumped Lawford in the pit lane as well. That's worked out well for Billy Mole. He's come out P7 on the road. Jack Andrews just ahead of him. A couple of drivers up the road still to pit.
2 seconds less. Is he underfilled?
Both of them are probably underfilled, and they'll probably be saving now.
Harry Dodds has gone. gone only for 18.9, like 19 seconds. He hasn't got much fuel at all in that.
No, he's gone really, really low.
Yeah.
And that's a
Same
lot
as
of fuel
Mick
to
Clifton.
save. That's a lot of fuel to save. So
Yeah, but Mick Clifton did it at lap 19.
no, that should
Also-
be okay because that was the same
Also,
lap
don't
that Andrews
forget,
came in.
not driving as fast, he'll probably get some extra laps in there because he's not pushing the car as fast as they would.
Who's that?
Yeah. Mickey Clifton.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be running maybe 0.1 or 0.1.5 less than the faster boys. As ironically, James Scott, the race leader, is actually approaching Mick Clifton right now. So that was a nice little segue into having him on screen. 14 seconds up the road from Blake Warboys. Stacey Boyd has now entered pit lane as well.
Yep.
I keep on seeing insert driver has crashed, and then it says entered pit lane. It's like, oh yeah, because they're having to pull it right up to get it round the cone. So
Correct. He's in there.
So does Scott come in as well? We're at the halfway point of the race.
Tell you what, this pit strategy is it's cost Lawford a few places, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. Really
Yeah,
has. That
and
undercut.
on
The undercut from Andrews worked to perfection as well.
Yeah.
As John
Both
Gallen
those,
has had a moment. Let those guys
He's
pass.
had Angus has had a moment. He's dropped a few places.
Oh, he's blinking. He's having some blinky bill at this point too. So
Go Cliffy on Facebook.
I'm gonna show it to Mick Clifton.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Clifton, yeah. He's the Rockstar has been doing well. He's still new to this series and getting to know these boys out there.
I'm waiting for him to announce. I'm waiting for him to announce his Brett Michaels cover band tour. Oh, every rose has its thorn.
He's going to have a go for it here. He's got Stoney under pressure coming around the back end, coming to the first little straight.
He wants this
He's
move.
going to have a
Gonna
go
get
here.
it done. He's got the run off the exit.
Oh, he's done it.
He put
Did
the
it
pressure
really
on him.
well. I think the pressure
Stoney
was
ran
on him.
wide. Yeah, Stoney just ran it wide, and Rehan just snuck up the inside. Good job. But look at the focus on him. He is pushing forward to get this car inside of the 10 as Douglas comes into pit lane. Still in the box, so he'll drop outside of the 10 now. So Leonage up to P9. Corrected would be P8 on the road at this stage because Mulford, his teammate, still needs to pit, and he's too far behind Warboys or Scott to get past them without them getting a penalty. So he's got some work to do now in the next 28 minutes of this race, this young Rehan Leonage. But at this point...
Man, I wish I had the skill of this kid. He's even half the skill would be happy. Warboy's in the pits. He's gone in.
So he wants to probably undercut just a little bit of that time on James Scott, but at the lap pace that Scott is doing at the moment, I don't know how much undercut he's going to get off of him.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a miracle here for Warboys, but what it does is it makes the title interesting because it gives James Scott a few extra points to catch up to Warboys.
As I said to you, it's with the points differentials as Mulford comes in. With the points differentials, Blake just needs to finish P2 now every race, and he would still win. So aside from maybe the enduro, he would still get it. So realistically, Blake just needs to make sure he shows up every week, has a clean race, finishes P2. James can win every race, and I believe mathematically Blake can still win.
in the pits as well.
He is.
So that'll release Rian.
Yep, it's up to P8
He's
now.
out of his way now.
Yep.
But Rian has Rian pitted?
He has. He pitted on lap 19.
Okay.
So the big gain out of all this, actually, Sinker, the big gain out of all of this was Jack Andrews, who came in 4 laps earlier than Warboys and has jumped Warboys in pit lane. So now this is where the pressure is now being applied to Blake because Jack is the closest competitor to him in the championship, and giving up 4 points tonight to Jack Andrews would mean the gap goes down to a 14-point gap leading into Bathurst in a couple of weeks, where the points differential goes up because it's an enduro. So Blake needs to continue applying the pressure to Jack Andrews by finishing ahead of him every week. He cannot give up points to Jack here because it's going to be unwanted pressure on Blake, and that's just going to make his championship charge that little bit more difficult leading up towards the final couple of rounds.
Yeah. Let's face it, Jack's gone in at lap 19. So where's his fuel levels going to be at like?
He should be fine. He should be fine because it's...
Lake will be a lot lighter, and fresher tyres at the moment, and he's already doing it.
Yeah, he's gone past.
He's already doing it.
The point I was about to make is it would make, because it's a one-stop race sinker.
Yeah.
They need the same fuel to get home, so actually his fuel would actually be about the same. But it's the fresher tyres that pay you dividends. It's having those fresher tyres.
And that's what's given him to the exit for War Boys was on Mark, and who's just going in the pits. James Scott's going in the pits.
So Scott's
so let's see.
So he'll still be the leader of the race, because you're not going to make up 56 seconds on a pit stop unless James gets a penalty. So it's just how far is the gap. And I think the fact that War Boys was undercut by Andrews and he had to get past him, it's not helped Blake at this point of the race, trying to chase down James. So
I'm going to switch the bottom cam over, mate, to...
just give me 2 seconds, because I'll get Blake's camera up, actually. So we'll rock with that for a moment while you do that.
I'll get Ryan Mueller and Angus Lawford, because they're having a great little battle in the bottom there.
But the battles are here, there, or everywhere at this point. James Scott's come out in the lead. He just come through turn 2, so the gap is, well, it's under 14 seconds. War Boys managed to undercut 2 seconds off the time of James Scott. So it wasn't enough, but it is that little bit closer. And if there's a safety car, the pressure is going to be on James. So
well, Brian is lapping about just about a second faster than Harry Dodds at the moment. So another 2 laps, and he will be on the back of Doddsy. And well, maybe not 2. Yeah, just under 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah,
maybe 3. But then it's a lot closer. Then he's got Mueller's not that far either. So
Mueller's about 5 seconds up the road from him. But
so it's a bit of time.
He could get it. I mean, it's only 25 seconds. So
25 minutes. He's already got 2 seconds on him now. So he'll be 2 laps, and he'll have Harry Dodds. And then he's going to try to pass him. Harry will have the elbows out.
And then the other screen, Mueller and Lawford battling. That's the next 2 cars up the road from Harry Dodds. So they're the next 2 cars in the line of sight for Leonage once he gets past Harry. We would assume their battle's going to start the next 2 laps or so, Sinker. So they're going to be on it.
Let's see whether Billy's going to take Jack on.
Yeah, how
he's going to do here, because this is quite a clinical part of the points for him as well, because Billy Mole's had some really good runs of late.
He's in the top 5 of the championship, but it would also be helping his teammate Blake Warboys if he were to get past Jack. So he'd be thinking about the team game and the personal gain that he can get over Jack Andrews to try and position this car up towards the top 3 of the title race, with only 6 rounds to go when we head out to Bathurst in a couple of weeks' time. So it's it's now crunch time, Sinker. We're past the halfway point of the championship. We've lost Barber, which I actually, hands up, I think is actually probably the better track to lose out of the next couple that we've got coming up.
Yeah.
But what it means is it's now you're one round less. You're 1 round less you have to push onto, but you're 1 round closer to the end. So, maximise your points here tonight at Winton. Get a good race at Bathurst for the Enduro. Then put some focus into those sprint and normal rounds before we have the next Enduro, I believe it's Sebring, before the end of the season. And then just try and maximise that final undroppable round at round 15. So it's crunch time. This is where those drivers who are within the championship fight really need to start pushing on forward and maximising on their races. And this is now where you're at the point of the season of you cannot afford to make mistakes, because you are getting less and less time to catch up in the championship standings.
100%. And I'll tell you what, Angus Lawford's got a lot of pressure there from Mueller. Mueller is right on the back of him. He's like 4/10, 3/10. So he's not quite close enough to impact him at the moment, but he's enough there to put some pressure on and keep him in the rearview mirrors.
So as Billy Mole and Angus Lawford run round towards the gum tree a little bit further back, Rehan Leonage is now hot on the heels of Harry Dodds and putting the pressure on him through turn 4. And I would say end of this lap, Sinker possibly. He's going to be right on his chuff and putting the pressure on him.
Yeah.
It may even be when they exit the Gumtree section.
Yeah, when they exit the Gumtree, because Leonard is quite fast around this section here. Watch this.
Oh, he wanted the outside on Dodds. Not going to get it. But the pressure's on. Does he go for it at the next corner? Because that's been his favourite passing opportunity of the night thus far. It's where he got past Stone Street. Dodds is not going to cover the inside line. Leonard's not quite close enough, though, to go for the send. May either need to wait until maybe turn 3 or 4, because Dodds is going to cover the inside at the next corner, and there's not much room for switch back.
Oh, Dodds is really pushing him wide there.
Oh, he's gone to switch back, though. He's trying to position the car nicely. Doddsy has to leave him the room. Final corner move for
Nice.
Rehan Leonage. Up the inside. He'll have the outside line at 1. Doddsy has to give it up. Tucks in behind. Position made for Rehan. So now it's 7.5 seconds up to the next battle, which is on the bottom screen of Ryan Mueller and Angus Lawford. They're the next two cars in the line of sight for Rehan Leonage, but Doddsy wants to go with him. He wants to make it a fatal four-way by the time Rehan catches them.
Brown's got a bit of work to do. Mueller's up the road by 7 seconds at the moment, and lap time for Mueller is 23.6. Leonage has been doing 22s, so he can catch him. Will he have enough time? That's a question. We've got 20 minutes left.
And there's the battle for P3, Billy Mole and Jack Andrews, which we focused on a little bit earlier. So this battle has just started to heat up over the last few laps now, and you have a feeling, Sinker, over the next 10 minutes, the more that this pressure gets applied to the back of Andrews' car, just the more the electricity is going to rise between them. And I hope, I don't think it's going to happen, I hope it just doesn't end in tears for both of them. They just have an absolutely ripper battle to the end, and whoever the better driver is comes out on top, with both of them finishing on the road near each other.
Look, it's racing is just one of those things that someone's got to have the tears at the end of the night.
You just got to hope that your competitor's not sipping on yours.
Yes, this is true. But I tell you what, Billy Mole is he's starting to make a charge now. He had that right down at 3/10 at the moment.
And he is
Let's
putting.
see how he goes. Where is he stronger? Is he stronger in the back end or in the chicane area?
So if we have a look at their sectors, select Jack Andrews. Let's have a look.
Looks like he's catching him around the tree, around the back section here.
So Mole's slower. Mole's slower in the first two. How is it in the third sector? Is he faster than Jack through here, or is he slower again? Because he was barely slower in the second sector. They're pretty even, actually, through sector 2.
Yeah.
How is it through sector 3? Because that sector timing line is just up here as they come onto the back straight. So Mole's actually faster than him through the back end of the Gumtree section. So that's where he gains pace. So Andrews is faster in the first sector. Second sector, they're pretty even. And then the third sector is Billy Mole's all day of the week, but they are still relatively close. Fourth sector, Mole's also faster, but there is some toe involved in that, so that kind of... They're pretty even through there, because Mole would get a natural gain because of the amount of pace discrepancy there is from no toe compared to with toe. So
the difference between what we're seeing now between these two fighting and what we saw a few rounds ago between War Boys and Rian. War Boys had the ability to drive a lot closer and be comfortable there. At the moment, Billy Mole's not at that level quite yet. He's got the pace. He's actually lapping faster in certain sections where he's comfortable. He's catching him, but in the areas where he's a bit thinking, well, what's going to happen in front of him, and not confident to drive that 2/10 and 1/10 away from the car in front of him, not looking at the car in front but looking in front of him, sort of thing that Warboy spoke about a few weeks ago. That's where Billy Mole's got to improve, because if he could do that right now, he would be putting a lot more pressure on, and he'd get into that space to make the move a bit quicker.
yeah, he's got to try and continue to apply pressure, but not worry about the back of Jack's car. He's got to worry about where he wants to position it once he gets the pass done. And that's one of the most important mindsets you can bring to Winton, if, you know, because it is such a tough track to get overtaking done, Sinker. You've got to set it up almost 2 corners prior to where you actually want to do it. So that's where it comes down to actually looking at
Yeah, 3/10 isn't enough. That's 3/10 right there. That's not enough.
It's not enough.
You've got to be sub 2/10.
Exactly.
So you've got the pressure on and get that exit right better than your team. Like 2/10, if he was there a bit closer when he was coming through that chicane, he would have been right on his bumper there. Could have maybe snuck the nose in a little bit. Can't quite do that when you're 3/10 coming into the first chicane.
So if we think back to the move that Rehan pulled on Dodsey, the best way that Dodsey could have defended that was as he came, instead of trying to carry a lot of speed through that second to last corner, because Rehan was happy to sit on the outside, he was always going to try and go for the over-under. If Dodsey had just pulled it up that little bit earlier and was able to hold the much tighter line and then run the inside line at the last corner straight after, it limits the overtaking opportunity and the run opportunity that he actually gave to Rehan to get the move made down the straight. So, you know, Dodsey probably didn't want to defend it too hard because he obviously doesn't want to ruin his own race or frustrate Rehan too much, but just actually, you know, pretty much parking the car on apex is the best way you can defend those last 2 corners, because there's no run. You can't get a run on the outside line at the last 2. You have to try and get inside line through this final corner, as we see Jack Andrews and Billy Mel coming through now. And Dodsey gave him that chance by opening the door for the over-under earlier on. So for Jack, he's got to try and defend inside lines as much as possible. For Mole, he's got to spend the next sort of, 5 or 10 minutes planning where do I want to get this move done and just trying to set up an opportunity for himself, because it might take him 5 or 10 minutes to finish the move. So it's better to take just as much time planning it as it is implementing it.
Correct. Boys down the back of the pack are still having a lot of fun. You got John Gallen, Mickey Clifton, and Jason Douglas having a bit of a go down there, and you also got a pack in front of these guys, which is Buchanan, Jaden Green, and Mulford, which are really close too. So there's a bit of action all over the track at the moment. They got 2 wide now. He's taking it on the inside. Oh, Jason Douglas is not letting that go, but Clifton, he had to pull out a little bit there to get off those rumble strips.
Yeah, didn't want to run it wide and end up in the what we call no escape zone, where you have got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. You got wall in front of you pretty much. You just run it too wide off of turn 2. So we had to back out, get the thing turned out of it, and then back on the road again. So
yeah, I've left some paint on that wall. I'll tell you that right now,
mate. I have. I remember I came through there. I think it was in the Audi GTO. I sent it through that corner one time, hit those little rumble curbs, and I actually dislodged the wheel because I sent it too hard over the curbs. So it's such a tough circuit, such a tough part of the circuit too. But when you can get a full lap together at max pace, you feel on top of the world. It's really rewarding being clean, consistent, and just nice and smooth. You can't over attack it, because your lap times will go out the window so quickly just by over pushing the car.
Very, very true. I think it might have been Mickey Clifton that actually went airborne across that spot a few seasons back. But
quite possibly. It was either him, or it might have even been Peter Pavlov. Yeah.
One of the 3. 13 minutes left. 12 minutes left at the moment, ticking over. We've got everyone's done their pit stops. Ooh,
why is Green?
Why is he slowing down? Is he readdressing?
He's either readdressing or he's maybe trying to. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's have a look.
He might have been a slowdown.
Yeah, let's have a look. So we're going to pull the old cheeky, just press reverse on it to go back to turn 2 or 1-2, because that's where he would have gotten it, was 1-2 if he got the slowdown.
Don't know.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's unless it's on exit. Oh no, he should have been okay unless he caught damage off the curb.
Yeah, that was really weird, because he
should have been
backed
fine.
right off then.
Unless he got it at the last corner, which I don't understand how in the hell you get a slowdown at the last corner. It's as tight as anything.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah.
But Jace Douglas is now swapping paint with John Gallen. He's got him in the 2-second part, and they're having a lot of fun across there. James Scott is whistling away, having a cup of tea, or maybe some Milo, getting ready for...
Of Lawford, job done. Great move.
Ooh, good move there by Mueller. Very nice. He's been very patient there. He's been sitting behind him for quite a long time.
Yeah, let's have a quick look on the outside, because we're off the roof cam as it happened. This is how he lined it up. So Angus, oh, you just broke that a little bit later. Got it up the inside before turn-in. Bit of a door, but that's all right. Job done.
Yeah,
just a classic move.
Kept it really smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
Great move. Great move. A lot of space given by both guys, so well done there. Yeah, as I was saying, James Scott's out there having a cup of Milo, probably getting ready for bed. He's 17 seconds ahead. He's currently doing last lap of the 122.8. Warboy's last one, the 123.3. So he's quite happy where he is. He's got the points he needs for his long-term game. Jack Andrews is sitting in third place, but Billy Mole is still putting the pressure on, but he's backed off a bit. He's on 8/10 at the moment.
Oh, Jaden Green's just had a big blink. Oh, actually, no, he didn't. Did he have an off track? He blinked and then he's just reappeared at the back of this train. So it's like he blinked and he went off track. That was weird. Well,
look at this, too wide.
Oh, up the inside, Jace Douglas on John Gallen.
That was a very, very rough pass there by young Douglas.
You know what, Sinker? You know how we spoke about.
Racing.
You know we spoke about how this track is gritty. That's exactly what that was. That was a gritty move from Jace Douglas, just getting up there, elbows out, put the car in the right spot. But Gallen didn't and put it in the wall.
Nearly set that in the air. Has he got damage? Whoa, that front left lifted. He nearly had that riding up the wall. I think he might have damage there. Yeah, he looks like he's struggling to turn. He nearly had that up the wall. Have a look at this. And then he's bounced up and it's brought him back down.
I reckon that suspension might be broken, maybe, or just heavily damaged.
Good.
But the battle between Ryan Mueller and Angus Lawford continues on. Look who started to chase them down. Rehan Leonage. 2.6 seconds is now the gap between him and Angus Lawford as Troy Stone Street is off the track and cutting weeds. We mentioned the 80-year-old groundskeeper here. I don't know how happy he'd be about Stone Street taking the groundskeeping into his own hands.
Putting some Levens down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what there. Mueller's great pass on Angus. Yes, it was, Lee. But Angus hasn't given up on him yet. Still putting the pressure on. Billy Mole in the back of Jack Andrews still going for it. But it looks like at the moment it's first James Scott, Blake Warboy second. Still debatable on third place though.
Yeah, anything can happen between Mole and Andrews, and if both of them come together, all of a sudden the podium position sits in the hands of Ryan Mueller at this stage. We've got less than 10 minutes to go. 8 minutes, in fact, Sinker. We're just about to hit 52 minutes completed. Jaden Green's now jumped to pits, so he's had a moment where he's headed off track. I feel maybe the blinking's become too much, unless he was sent there by iRacing. I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Via the ping flag. I'm not 100% sure. But the gap's now down to less than 2 seconds between Leonage and Lawford. So Mueller got by Lawford at the right time because it's now 0.8 of a second. Barbs is over the radio. What's he saying?
30 seconds. Just a re-entry. I'm not sure who did the re-entry, but he's wanting the re-entry checked.
I think it was Troy Stone Streets. So he went off track down here. He's behind odds. Oh, he had that rear end loose again.
Oh.
And so then he's out in the weeds. And so as he rejoins, we'll see in the background, there's Mulford there. Well, to be fair to Stoney, where else is he going to rejoin? I mean, Mulford had...
Oh, yeah, but he has hindered him a little bit there.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to the boys downstairs.
We'll
it could be not as cut and dry as it looks.
No, that's right.
Yeah. But we have got... What do we got? 7 minutes left, less. And where's Rian? Rian's got it down to 123. We did say it was going to be very close to when he gets up to Lawford. And looks like he's starting to make himself aware.
Well,
Lawford's sitting there and knowing he's there.
Passing him's another, you know, so it's all right if he can catch him with 5 minutes to go. Can he get past him within 5 minutes? I mean,
Angus's last lap was a 124.
Yeah.
So maybe he's having a bit of an issue there as well because he's dropped a fair bit of time now. Like we were talking this half a lap ago, and he's now down to under a second.
And he shouldn't need to fuel save because he's got more fuel than Rehan does. So unless he took tyres and Rehan didn't, it was no further action between 850 and 04. So that rejoin was deemed fine by Stone Street. Because the rejoin part seemed okay. It was the move that he made afterwards that was the more tentative thing, Sinker. Fairly sure. So
yeah, it looks like Jaden Green's retired the car. Must be too much internet issues down there. But Gallen is now on his own because he had that little incident down the bottom. So I'd say he's suffering a bit of damage there because his time has dropped down to 125s. He's just having fun out there at the moment. Jace looks like he's ready for a nap.
He looks ready for bed.
Oh no! John Gallen's come around the bend and straight into the wall.
Oh no!
Yeah, I just mozzed him again.
Oh my God!
Oh, did you see that? That corner has got him twice now.
You hate to see it. What you love to see is this sort of a battle that's happening though for P6 on the road. Leonage hot on the heels of Angus Lawford as they run through 1-2. The pressure is now on the Project 36 car in the 152.
Maybe 3 laps.
Yeah, it's all going to be dependent on where James Scott is.
These are critical points for Rian too. To pass Angus, that's one of the competitors he needs to get more points than. So it's if he could get past him, they're good points. He's salvaged the race for himself.
Yep, he needs to try and get this top 6, possibly even top 5 if he can catch up to Mueller. But this job is not going to be easy for Rehan Leonage to get past.
Not with 4 minutes left.
Not with 4 minutes. It's so he has to get this done this lap just to get an opportunity at the top 5. So
I've got the outside on the bottom screen.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, this battle now, as intense as it can get for young Rehan Leonage and for Angus Lawford as well. When does he go for it? Does Lawford leave him space? Or does he make it hard? He's going for it inside.
He's got him on the inside. Lawford's tried to close the gap, but not quite there. Leonard just got him nicely there. Put the pressure on. Lawford's tyres are feeling the pain.
Yeah, they would be. He's pushed so
he's gonna
hard.
have to yield it here because Rian's got him.
Oh, a bit of a door-to-door.
Rian's got him on the end. What a pass that is. Oh, it's not over. Lawford's saying, I'm coming back on the inside.
Oh, there's contact!
No!
Off goes Rehan!
No.
And he wants to redress.
That's exactly what happened to him and War Boys.
Yep, he wants to redress.
Oh, he's going to be livid.
So I think now Ryan Mueller has gotten home scot-free as long as he keeps it nice and clean.
Oh, he's readdressed it.
He readdressed. I saw him apply the brakes afterwards. He wanted to do that back.
Well done to Lawford. Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, it was very similar to the incident between Rian and War Boys as well. But luckily for Rian, that Lawford is a bit of a gentleman racer. And now that's given him some critical points on the back of him, but he's got a fair bit away from Mueller and not enough time to catch. We've got 2 minutes to go.
Have you seen the gap between Scott and War Boys? So that's War Boys entering turn 1, 2.
He backed off, yeah.
And there's Scott.
War Boys has been sitting on 123, but actually now that you mention it, James Scott has backed off in the last few laps as well to 123s.
Yeah, he doesn't want to push this too hard and give up the opportunity at this win.
I feel for the guy. He's probably yawning at the moment.
Oh man, I'm sure he's well prepared for these sorts of moments. Yeah, no, that was a good effort from Lawford to battle with Rehan, and fair play to Lawford for redressing the position after a mistake. It's good to see. So that's the sort of racing that we like to see. Sinker is fun but fair.
It's what you always see at SRW. We see that time in, time out. It's what we're all about, and the drivers are about. We've got some great drivers out here.
So Jack Andrews has now started just to pull away from Billy Mole just a little bit here in the battle for P3. That's now out to above a second. So
Yeah.
I'd say with 1 lap to go for James Scott, that Jack might have P3 pretty well wrapped up. Yeah, just keep it off the curbs and make it to the checkered flag. I mean, he could actually just lift at the moment.
We did have, I'm not sure how long ago it was, but we did have a lead car hit those curbs and come off. And I don't know who it was, but my brain is telling me Matty Keane. But I'm pretty sure
That might have been in the 8.6s.
We had a lead car hit those curbs and go off. I think it was the Porsches, to be honest. I think
that's before my time. I'm not even going to comment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
A long while ago. A checkered flag.
Yep. So this is the final lap for James Scott. 43 laps done and dusted in an hour at Winton as he traverses down onto the newer part of the circuit that makes up the national circuit of Winton and down towards the pit entry and the final couple of corners here at Winton. It's been a very impressive run from him, compounded with the fact of a mistake that put Warboys towards the back of the field and gave James a hell of a lead. As he runs around the final corner, he takes the win at Winton. And it's another win on the books for James Scott and the Chiefs. Blake Warboys further back in the field in P2 as Gallen's gone round again. That was John Gallen, so he's in the wars tonight.
Yep.
It's poor old Johnny Gallen. Warboys up towards the line will take P2 on the road. Good enough for him at this point, Sinker. As I said, he doesn't need wins. He just needs podiums. And he'll win this championship by the end of the season.
That was some great driving. Good recovery there by Warboys. James Scott.
James Scott has not gone to do the burnout. He's ineligible for the championship, I have now determined. So, yep, ineligible, James. Sorry. Let's see if Blake does it.
We're giving you a penalty for no burnouts, James.
That's right. 15. What was the gap? 19-second penalty.
Broadcast penalty for no burnouts.
Blake hasn't done it either. He's not gone there yet. Actually, no, he's still going. So I reckon he's trying.
I reckon Warboys is trying to work out how to get in there.
Yeah, he's trying to get in there.
He's going into the pit.
I reckon he's listening to us and he knows. Oh shit, I might get taken out of this here if I don't go do a burnout for the broadcast. So he's going to go in there and do one for us. He's
going to go in there and do one for us.
If you ever wondered how to get to the burnout pad at Winton, this is how it's done. You got to go down the dirt road.
It's a great bit of fun. We did a burnout competition here. I reckon we should do one again in the coming month.
We did it in the Pro 2 lights when we were at Winton a few months ago. It was fantastic. There he is doing his burnout. He's doing a standstill for us as he's about to hold it. He's going to do a burnout whilst he holds his baby. If he does that, give him the title now.
A one-handed burnout with baby Eva in his hands.
Yep.
Oh, and the kitten on his lap.
Everything.
Well, what a race that was. James Scott he benefited from the incident between Ryan and Warboys and took advantage of it. He took it out to 18 seconds in the end. You can see that both Warboys and James backed it off a little bit. Jack Andrews, third on the podium, so well done. And Jack, he's having some tremendous results lately. And Billy Mole up in fourth place. So
it's been an incredible effort from these drivers. Provisional results on your screen for round 9 here this evening. James Scott takes the win ahead of Blake Warboys, Jack Andrews, Billy Mole, Ryan Mueller, the top 5, Rehan Leonard, Angus Lawford, Harry Dodds, Will Buchanan, Troy Stone Street for the top 10. Yeah, John Gallen's gone in there to hang out with him and do burnouts as well. It's great to see. Tim Mulford, Jace Douglas, Stephen Banks, Mick Clifton, John Gallen for the top 15, Jaden Green, Stacey Boyd, Terry Marsh. Alex McManus ends at 33 laps down. He never really got started in this race, unfortunately, for Alex. But for Warboys, he's only given up points to James Scott this evening, so that 200-odd point gap has just shrunken a little bit more off the back of that as well. As we get some highlights going for you, this was how the race started for these drivers down onto the main straight. If it's actually going to give me the correct camera, please. There we go. So it was rolling start. It was an odd start to this race, Sinker, but one which gave us so many moments to remember, including a bit of door banging from Doddsy into his own teammate at turn 3.
Yeah.
I think it was Doddsy doing Doddsy things. He sent it at turn 3, and then watch this. Inside of his teammate, just doors him into turn 3. I mean, a wild...
Was that Jaden Green? That was Jaden Green.
Yeah, it was Jaden Green. And then this one further up.
In all Dodsy's defence, Jaden, I think, disappeared pretty much straight after that contact, so he might have already been gone in Dodsy's eyes.
So watch this. This was the moment with Rehan. It was a very late dive from Rehan. Very, very late. And then there's the contact that then spun round.
Nearly straightened him out. Nearly straightened him out. Yeah.
Probably not as straightened out as what he would have hoped, but...
Look, it's a tough race, and he's done well to come back all the way up to 6th place, I think it is.
Yeah.
4th, 5th, 6th, yeah. So some critical points there for him. He needed to get that to make sure that longevity of the season is still competitive, because we have just gone past the halfway mark.
And this was the other moment a little bit further around, Jace Douglas and Jaden Green. So Buchanan got held up. That's then sent Mulford into him, which has then sent Buchanan off the road. So all hell broke loose at that point of the race as well. So tough night at the office for some, a better night at the office for others. And for our podium finishers, well, it was an exceptional night on the circuit for them. As, you know, they all just...
Well, we're missing a few. We might as well... James has been on his own for the last hour, mate. So might as well speak to him so he doesn't fall asleep on us.
Yeah, we'll grab him and have a quick chat to him as well. We did get fixed up for the chats in here too. So let's just double check that actually now works. James, can you hear us and can you speak? No. Very good. Good, it was.
Excellent, mate. Are you still awake, mate? Did you have to have a coffee then?
Yeah, it's a tough little track around here, to be honest. They don't get much of a break, so.
Yeah, well, the boys let you off tonight. Between Rian and War Boys, they had their little issues, and then you just had it all to yourself after that. There was no need to do anything. Jake was behind you for a fair while, but the gap was growing. You were probably doing a second a lap faster than him most of the time. I can't say you would have had fun out there. You probably would have been bored shitless.
No, it was, it's always not too bad. Tried a few things with the setup tonight. I don't really know if it worked or not, but it's always trying little things. Ooh, the car's not really new anymore, but still trying to just dial in a little bit more. So it's not too bad.
Any race time's good race time for future races, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, most of the tracks that we go to, it's the first time really going to these tracks to this car. So yeah, I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point.
Yes, no doubt at all. The rolling start would have been good. Weren't you saying you were having issues with starts a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I was having issues, but I did find out the cause of that. So they should be. Unless there's a driver issue moving forward, they should be sorted.
Did you work out what was it? The clutch, the way the clutch was set up?
I was trying to use the iRacing bite point second clutch to start, but for some reason it was glitched out in this car. So if anyone's having issues, it's probably your cause. It's spams the clutch on and off, so you don't really go anywhere.
Nice. Well, that's good to get some more bugs out of it. We've got 2 weeks off. So we've got Easter weekend next weekend, then there's a Scops round. You'll be doing the Scops round, no doubt.
Yeah, I will. Won't be any practice. I'm actually going away, so I won't have much time to practice for wherever that race is. But I'm trying pre-quali on the Saturday night and see how we end up on Sunday.
Nice work, mate. Look, we'll let you go because you've probably been bored at the front and talking to yourself for the last half hour at least. Who gets you and the big Chiefs on track, mate, and supports you boys?
Yeah, obviously thanks to all the guys at Chiefs with Aussie Broadband, Westfield and Logitech G on the side of the car. Really, really appreciate all the support and stuff that they sort us out with. So thanks to those guys. You guys for the broadcast, the other guys, Chiefs, and the technical partnership with Eclipse. Thanks to those guys. You guys and the league admin as well, and race control whoever was in race control was probably glad. It was a seemed like a pretty quiet night. So.
Yeah, for a winter night, it was a pretty quiet night, which is pretty spectacular. Look, mate, well done. Congratulations on the top step. It brings you up towards the pointy end. I think as we get close to the end of the season, we're going to get a few of you boys getting closer and closer by the way it's looking at the moment. So it could be very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not really sure how I ended up so far behind, to be honest. I feel like I've had a pretty good season, and I've missed. I think I missed one round. But
have you missed one or two? Because that would probably answer the question as to why, unless you had a poor round where you didn't make as many points, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I got no idea. I'll have to go back and have a look. Maybe I'd.
Yeah, definitely have a look. We're always up to scrutineering on the ladder.
Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, don't worry.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Have a good one. Have a happy Easter, and hope everything goes well for you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, you two fellas.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, brother.
Well, next up, we've got P3. He also finally fixed his SDK to have the right team under his name as well. Did Mr. Mr. Scott, so it was good to see.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. But we've now got Jack Andrews of Phoenix Racing Team to join us here this evening. Jack, great race from yourself tonight. You stay in P2 of the championship after this round. But you didn't get any points on Blake in that one. You dropped some points, which now makes your gap about 22 up to him. We saw him get by you relatively easily once he got up to you in that last sort of stint there. Was that more or less you were trying to just maintain your own race and didn't want to battle him too hard, or did he just get by really easily?
Yeah, it was I let him go there just because my fuel calculator on my screen was going in and out of having to save 2 liters and then going back to 0. So I wasn't too sure how that was going to work, but I knew he had miles more pace, and I knew Billy was kind of my realistic race sort of in that one. So I thought I'd let him go and just focus on the tyre wear, which seemed to be the biggest thing.
Well, it all seemed to work out for you in the end. Still some solid points for you. You gained over the rest of the field, aside from James, who only really gained about 8 points on you. But, holding on to P2 of the championship at the moment, what's the goal now this season? Are you hoping maybe Blake can get a bit of bad luck and you can take advantage of that to gain some solid points? Or is your aim and your hopes this season is to remain in P2 and get that top 3 in the championship?
Yeah, look, my main thing today was just score as many points as I can. Winton's not definitely one of my weaker tracks. It's just something that doesn't really suit me. So I was happy with, where I finished and what I got out of it. But I was more hoping for a top 5 for this year. So if I win, if I come second, anywhere in the top 5, I'm happy with at the end of the year.
Well, you've run an incredible season thus far. It's been a breakout performance for you this season as well. Is this due to the fact of the new team environment you've been surrounding yourself with now, getting that training in amongst this team as well? Is that all helping you kind of put together a more solid performance every single week?
Yeah, the team environment definitely helps. The guys have been awesome to work with. Super welcoming, super helpful, and there's heaps of advice that they give, which is great. And it's nice to work with people that sort of have the same goal to move towards the front, which is nice to have. But it's a nice environment to be in. Definitely helps sort of boost the feeling of wanting to improve and wanting to get faster.
Very good, mate. You got any big plans coming up for Easter next week? We've got a couple of weeks off now before our next round at Bathurst. So any plans for those for the next 2 weeks that we've got a break for from this series?
Nothing crazy at the moment. Might head down south with the family to just chill out for Easter and have a little good time and a little catch up, but nothing crazy at the moment.
Oh, mate, very good to hear. Keeping yourself well rested and well prepared for the next round, of course, enduro race at Bathurst. So we look forward to seeing how you go there. Let us know anyone helps get you out on track, Jack, by way of Phoenix Racing Team, or anyone who might be watching, friends, family, or anyone else possibly as well. And for myself, Sinko, and the rest of the league, congratulations on P3 here this evening at Winton.
Yeah, thank you, guys. First of all, big thanks to, obviously, the team. hybrid racing simulations, Melbourne Hydrographics, Depot, Aramex Heatherton, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and Phoenix Driver Development for all of your supercars setups from the super old versions to the Gen 2s to these Gen cars. You can head over and chat to either Rayhan or Laz on Facebook, and they'll sort you out and get you going in these cars. But also a big thanks to the whole SRW crew and you two guys for putting on a great show.
Very good, Jack. Much appreciated. And thank you so much for coming and have a chat to us. Enjoy any festivities you may be having across Easter next weekend, and enjoy the couple of weeks break you get as well. We'll see you out at Bathurst when we're racing once again here in the Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship.
Yeah, thank you guys. You too.
Thanks, Jack.
Stay safe, mate. Good luck.
Sinker, I must say,
yes,
I think Mr. Warboys has mastered salesmanship at the moment, because every time we've chatted to him, he's got the baby ready to go. It's like,
oh yeah, right.
he would make a great politician one day just by, you know, getting us all
Kissing
chirpy.
babies, handing out lollipops.
Exactly right. It's like, oh, look at the baby.
Let's drag him in.
Yeah, Mr. Warboys, congratulations. P2 on the road here tonight. You did exactly what you needed to do. The only driver who beat you on the road was James Scott, who at the moment, mathematically speaking, if you race every week, has got a very tough job of getting past you in these championship standings. Everyone else you had to beat, you did. So you gained some points. You gained time with your little one there after Mum came in and was like, here, it's your turn. You take the baby for now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we were doing the maths leading up to the race. And because James is about 200-odd points behind you, I think we worked out to the fact of, if he wins every race and you just finish second, I don't think it's enough he can actually get past you by the end of the season.
Yeah, well, the way the points are structured, you know, it's if you're within a couple of positions, it's hard to gain that sort of point. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about James or Rehan. You know, if I can have a good race with them, yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't had a good race with one of them the last few rounds, but yeah, we'll play on. Yes, Ava. Hello. She's talking. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's like cool.
Yeah, we can hear her, mate. You're going to be a politician in some shape or form soon. You're going to be handing out lollipops and having the kids and kissing babies.
Yeah, it's a new party trick as of a week and a half ago or a week ago. So
it's starting to
she
talk.
loves to
She
have a talk.
hasn't said dada yet.
No dada yet, but loves watching race cars, so there's a good sign.
She'll probably
Ooh,
say
there
race
you
car
go.
first. That'll be her first word, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, nice work, mate. So it was a bit of a tough race out there today. You did your job coming back through the field. James Scott was, I think at one point, I think it looked like you were trying to make a bit of an attempt. You made a few seconds, then you thought, I'm just going to take it in and just make it through the end and make it clean. Is that how it went?
Yeah, basically sort of tried to see what the setup was like compared to him. Would have been nice to sort of be right behind and sort of see like where the strengths and weaknesses were. Got to say, well done to Troy. He made the setup, so that was brilliant.
Nice. You're starting to hand the jobs out to the new boys, mate.
Yeah, well, I don't really have the time, so the boys are pitching in, which is really good. Yeah, Troy did a good job with this one.
Excellent.
During the session, so
and Billy Mole finished in fourth, so it's a bit of it's good team run there. Troy was probably the one who had most problem with the tyres, by the sounds of it. I think it looked like he overheated the rears.
Yeah, I don't know what he's done. He's either walked under too many ladders, broken a few mirrors, or kicked a few black cats, because he's just had the worst luck of late.
Yeah.
So hopefully it turns around for him soon, because he's got good pace. So I reckon he was on for a top 3 there. But yeah, and Billy's coming along really well too. That's good.
Well, Billy's he's probably the standout for me and Hamish at the moment. Him and Ryan Mueller seem to be just drifting around each other all the way through and really putting some awesome battles together. So those two young drivers are future champions from what we can see at the moment. So they're looking really good, and I think Billy is really adapted well joining your team.
Yeah, Billy's doing really well. He's starting to have some good input with the setup stuff as well now, which is really cool. Yeah, he's liking what we're doing and doing well when he has a go at Scops as well. I think he had a split 1 appearance last time out, so
Excellent.
Yeah, good stuff. Unfortunately,
Really good.
go-karting's keeping me away from Scops, but yeah, no, the team's doing really well.
That's excellent, mate. Well, you've got 2 weeks off now, and then we've got the Bathurst Enduro. You got a happy setup for that?
We've got an A setup. I wouldn't call it happy.
Yep.
As we saw the Tuesday night series, it was okay, but James was in a different league. So we've learned a few things, so hopefully we can tune it up. But yeah, the next few weeks are concentrating on go-karting, so yeah, we'll see what happens if I should have some time, but yeah, don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a plan. Sounds like the Bathurst Enduro is going to be killer. Looking forward to it as usual. Any day at Bathurst is good. I get bored driving it, but commentating it's a different story altogether. But mate, legendary effort. Good to see Bubs loving life and healthy and not sniffling and got a cold or anything like that. Who gets, apart from the lovely ladies in the room with you right now, or you can mention them as well, obviously. Who gets you on track and supports you, mate?
So massive shout out to WKMP Sim Sports, Wodonga Karts and Parks, Croc Promotion Karts Australia, Stone Street Plumbing, Super Cheap Auto and the Super Cheap group of companies, Four Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, All Boys Motorsports, Send It Don't Bend It, Amp Air, M1 Cars, Pecky's Performance and Dyno. Yeah, to my girls for letting me do all my racing, and a happy 96th birthday to my nan.
Whoa, congratulations, Nan 96. Today or?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, same as my young fella. He's turned 5. We had a party for him this weekend. Turns 5 tomorrow as well. So, happy birthday to both of you.
Yeah.
And congratulations on an epic race, mate. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Good luck with the go-karting. And have a bit of fun over Easter, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Same to you guys. Have a good Easter.
Thanks, Blake. Well, Sinker, you excited? 2 weeks off. Bit of a holiday for us.
Oh, mate, you know what it is? It's a holiday for us, but I've got so much work to do in 2 weeks, man. I got so much work to do. I don't even want to start talking about it. It's full on. Work's full on. Life's full on, and this is all full on the next 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to being able to do stuff over the whole week, not just wait till Sunday night sort of thing, which is really good. If you're out and about, you're loving what we do, you're loving watching what we do, please check us out on www.simracingworld.com.au. Go to Go Racing, and you can subscribe there. $15 to race all our series, no matter what you want to race. It's $15 to race the V8s, the Formula Super Lights, the JRD6s. You can race V8s twice a week. You can do it on a Tuesday night and a Sunday night. By all means, come in and have some fun. The more the merrier. And few prize giveaways are going to be out for season 2, which we'll promote in the next couple of days. But apart from that, happy Easter to everyone, man. Everyone's going to have a bit of a break. Forget about racing and forget about everything else and just enjoy the families for a while.
Yeah, enjoy the families, enjoy some personal time. My nights across Easter are still got broadcasting, but I've locked out time during the day for some personal time across Saturday through through Easter Monday. But it should be.
You've got to make sure you don't forget to buy Easter eggs for the missus, mate.
Oh mate, I've already done that. Don't worry, I did that a week ago. We're good on that front, mate. We're good on that front.
He's got front foot forward. He's bought this teddy bear that sits beside him in the passenger seat of the car. How big it is, probably.
Nah, mate. Nah, just straight up eggs. Actually, at this
straight
point.
up eggs.
Yeah, just straight up eggs. The classics. So,
classics.
No, it's it's good. I'm looking forward to Easter. I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks off just to get the mind reset, get set up for next season of SRW as well. Leading into next season, sign-ups are now open too for all of our series. The Sunday series has still got sign-ups open from the start of this season. It's continuing on through season 2 as well. Myself and Sinker in the booth for every single round. The Tuesday series is now open. Wednesdays are now open. Thursdays are now open too. You guys, if you're not registered or signed up via a subscription to SRW, you can do that at www.simracingworld.com.au. Register as a driver, pay your subs, come in to the Discord, and then register for all the series that we offer for you. There's so much racing to come your way. We are currently promoting to expand the broadcast team as well. You guys can email as at admin@simracingworld.com.au. Cinco is the email.
100%. We've had a few people in the last week email me, so please come out and
have a bit of a chat with us, and we'll see what we can do. Hamish wants a bit of his life back, so he won't be there every single night of the week. But yeah, look, just shout out and do it. Also, look, we're still looking for a naming rights sponsor for the GR86 series. That is the biggest 86 series in the country, if what JP tells me, if not the world. So yeah, 35 plus cars.
It would probably, at least from what I've seen in the sim racing landscape, it's probably the biggest out there. So
yeah,
it's a big opportunity.
Good way to promote your brand, get it out there. You know, our numbers are forever growing and going crazy, which is amazing because we've got a beautiful community behind us. And in saying that, please like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, give us a thumbs up, and you know what? Happy Easter. See you in a couple of weeks from me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, big thank you to go to all of our series sponsors as well, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, for their support of the Tuesday Night Fiat Supercars Series and the Sunday Night Fiat Supercars Championship, as well to our other series sponsors, Moser Racing, for coming on board to support the Super Formula Championship and the Australian Open Wheel Nationals going forward in 2025, as well to our other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Groom Industries, home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews and other studio segments, and as well to Phoenix Driver Development, who came on board this season as one of our sponsors. A big thank you to them. Be sure to message PDD over on Facebook. There's a direct link in the description below of the stream where you can message them on Facebook, get yourself some sessions set up for training, or even some setups from all the way from the 2009 Supercar all the way up to the Gen 3 Supercars as well. It's all offered from them. Or if you want to message Laz or Rehan Leonage on Discord, you can do so as well. They'll try and find you a time slot for training or get you set up with some setups for those cars as well. But I'm Hamish Munro with Steve Sinkovic alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us once again for round 9 of the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship out at Winton Motor Raceway. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks out at Bathurst for our Enduro this season. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, happy Easter, and bye for now.
Amazing how it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.